Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights, your home for spiritually guided transformation and empowerment. I am your host, Dearjames, and together with the unseen Spirit, Source, and Symphony, we look at the current energies, the intuitive wisdom and insights, and we go as guided. And yes, there's always just so much happening these days. I feel like I could do 5-hour shows and not get it all in. So anyways, let's jump in. We're looking at, welcome Kiki, welcome Alicia. Let's look at our main energies. It's a 5-month, all month long, so it's nourished while waiting, to have patience, grace. We're working with hexagram 14, great possessing, shine, because we have this juxtaposition going on, which you'll see between the main themes, this hexagram, great possessing, and so forth. And then, of course, it's shadow, it's opposite, all purposeful. It's a 9-year, all year long, so small restraint, keep surrendering, keep knowing that we have everything. All of these numbers culminate, the date numbers culminate in a 19, which is approach, advance, we're moving forward. This 10, treading, cautious advance, so how we approach life and move forward. Welcome, Olivia. And how we tread cautiously, cautiously meaning consciously, with awareness. And then it all culminates in the creative, initiate the creative force, how we harness the creative force. And so we're looking at this, and we're going to start out with, it's number 1 from the unseen. So before we dive into the astrological energies, which are really honing in on the shadow aspect and what we're to release and the works we're to do, so that when we get to the main theme, we have this opportunity. So, first thing from the unseen, as above, so below. The expression as above, so below is believed to have a tie with Hermeticism. Given the history, the phrase simply means that whatever you do in the physical world will reflect itself in the spiritual realm, and vice versa. And so, from Hermeticism, this ancient philosophical system emphasizes the unity of all things and the connection between the spiritual and the physical realms. We are interconnected. We are in constant reciprocity with ourselves, with our soul, with each other, and of course with the unseen. As above, so below is a key Hermetic principle suggesting that what happens in the larger universe has a corresponding effect on the individual and vice versa. In alchemy, as above, so below is understood as a correspondence between the elements and principles of the cosmos and the elements and principles of the human body and mind. Alchemists believe that understanding the macrocosm, the whole of the whole, could help them understand and transform the microcosm, the self. Astrology views the celestial bodies as influencing human affairs. We always talk about, there's a lot of astrology in the Weekly Wisdom and Insights because it plays such a pivotal role. It is that canopy of the stars, of the planets, that has guided humankind from eternity, for millennia. And so it's this same concept, as above, so below. In this context, it suggests that the movements and relationships of the planets and the stars reflect patterns and events on Earth. And then from a metaphysical standpoint, beyond specific traditions, as above, so below can be seen as a universal principle highlighting the interconnectedness of all things. It's that Chief Seattle quote that, what we do to the web, we do to ourselves. And so this interconnectedness of all things and the reflection of larger cosmic patterns in smaller individual experiences. So it's number one from the unseen. And it is playing this huge role. It's a reminder. It is a universal cosmic law, as above, so below, and vice versa. So to be mindful, what we do to the whole, and vice versa. So this beautiful aspect. So now and I just want to go quickly to Chani Nicholas. She's an astrologist. This is from her weekly issue number 66, and it kind of sums everything up that we're going to be covering in the episode today. The full moon in Scorpio, it just happened on Monday. The full moon in Scorpio is magnetizing secrets to the surface and rattling any skeletons locked in your closet. Forget positive affirmations or vision boards. This moment is about shadow work, emotional honesty, and melodramatic diary entries. But the intensity doesn't stop there. The chaotic energy cranks up another notch when the sun meets up with Uranus on Saturday. Life force, the creative, we're harnessing the creative, the life force, the creative force. It's going to conjunct on Saturday Uranus, the higher mind, expect the unexpected, pushing us to break down, break through, and break up with anything holding us back. It takes guts to get to the bottom of what's on your heart and mind. But there's power in reclaiming what you've hidden from yourself. When your internal compass wavers, it means it's rerouting you to a new true north. Choices cause the cosmos and us to shuffle the deck. It reroutes us. This is our God positioning satellite system, our soul source connection. So when your internal compass wavers, it means it's rerouting you to a new true north. Brainstorm all the ways that plot twists are growth opportunities working in your favor. So that's from Chani Nicholas, amazing astrologer. And so we have this as above, so below. Let's move into our main theme before we get to, because here's what's on offer. Taking chances, a quantum leap forward. You'll see how all of these astrological events, Pluto is retrograde, Pluto's in Aquarius. We have the Scorpio full moon. We have Venus, 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 and more Venus. We've had Mercury, Chiron, Eris conjunction. We have all the major planets changing signs this year. From end of last year through, they'll be permanently in new signs early 2026. So within this 18-month period, this is about taking chances. And you see this beautiful springtime image, the rays of the sun just illuminating through, a quantum leap forward. It is about taking chances. It is about as above, so below, moving. You see the planets, they're all moving. So as above, so below. They're moving forward. They're not going backwards. Yes, the planet's retrograde, but they're not going backwards and staying there. They regress slightly, make sure we've finished up business, and then they move ahead. They're ever evolving, ever in this beautiful dance and symmetry with Source. And it's perfect. It's like a Swiss watch. I mean, it's perfect. And thus, the unseen, the cosmos, the all that is saying to us, as above, so below, taking chances, a quantum leap forward. It's time. Because where we've been, we've completed it. Where we're going is unknown. It's the journey before us. Let us rise up to meet the moment, to meet the opportunity. So, astrological influences, and you're going to see why this is what it is. So we have Pluto retrograde. It's at 3 degrees Aquarius. That happened on May 4th. It's going to be there from early May till mid-October, retrograde. On the 12th, which was Monday, the full moon in Scorpio. Powerhouse, full moon. And Scorpio, it's Pluto rules Scorpio. It's the lord of the underworld. And then we have, on the 17th coming up, the sun conjunct Uranus. The theme for these astrological events is impaled beyond recognition. Why? Well, here we are. Here's the astrological chart for the Scorpio full moon. Again, I read these intuitively. And so when you look at the inner circle, you literally, what I heard was impaled beyond recognition. Bullseye. The new emerges. And then you notice that the inner circle, with all of the oppositions and the trines, the sextiles, the squares, the oppositions, all of this, it looks like an upside down umbrella. And it was literally, I heard upside down umbrella, dart, dagger to the heart. And that was last week's theme, like a dagger to the heart, what gets revealed. It had to do with the Pluto retrograde energies. Well, this Scorpio full moon is just magnifying, amplifying it, bringing it on home, manifesting it. And then I heard capsized. Capsized means overturned. So these energies, I mean, they're big energies. Impaled beyond recognition. So something is impaled beyond recognition. It hits the bullseye. The new emerges. This upside down umbrella that impales something, that these energies are going to impale something. It's a dart, it's a dagger to the heart, and it overturns. It's overturned. It overturns something. It capsizes. It's bringing it all. And this is Pluto retrograde, Scorpio full moon. These bring things to light. The full moon illuminates the darkness. So all of this, and this is going to be playing out. Remember, these energies arc out. So while it's occurring or exact in the moment now, these energies will continue. So in our own lives, again, it's about the choices we make. What are the choices we make in every instant? Doesn't mean being perfect. It just means make good choices and then allow events to unfold. And ultimately, there's a Sabian symbol, I'll post it. It's about this, the dart impales the butterfly. And they had me use the butterfly. It's in one of our quotes, and I'm just going to go to it quickly and we'll come back to it again. You see this beautiful butterfly, again, the rays of the light. So like the main theme, the rays, the creative force, the sun illuminating. Well, here it's do not play the guest, but become the host. It's to remember that we are the guest in life. Source is the host. The light, the sun, the all that is the host. Become the guest. Soul source connection. Follow, be led. And the butterfly, we go from the caterpillar to the butterfly when we do that. When we become the guest and we go as guided. Look at the magnification. Look, there's nowhere we can't go. We literally transcend, transmute. We discover. And this is what they're talking about here. So there's a Sabian symbol that talks about the impaled butterfly. There's a dart through it that preserves its purity, its perfection. It has to do with Master Jesus, resurrection, and so forth. So these are the energies, as above, so below, taking chances, a quantum leap forward. And we got this shadow, Pluto retrograde. It's in Aquarius now. And we've got the Scorpio full moon, magnifying, amplifying. It's number 3 from the unseen. And it is both number 3 from the unseen and our key word. What's our key word? Masquerade. And so the unseen said, the masquerade ends now, with an exclamation point. And they're talking about how the Scorpio full moon, the Pluto retrograde, last week's Mercury Chiron Eris conjunction, the Venus, 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 all of these celestial occurrences, astrological occurrences, are culminating and uniting, coming together, working together to advance us. The masquerade ends now. Keyword, masquerade. An attempt to deceive people about the true nature or identity of something or someone. A false show or pretense. Pretend to be someone one is not. A display of emotion or behavior that is insincere or intended to deceive. A social gathering of persons wearing costumes and disguises. We have a lot of this going on. The unseen is saying to us, so we talk about masquerade as the stories, the scripts, the labels, the identities, this social status, all of these illusions. The masquerade ends now. These cosmic energies, astrological energies, these as above, so below energies, they're going to bring us up and out. Impaled beyond recognition. They hit the bullseye. The new emerges. This upside down umbrella, this dart that pierces it. This dagger to the heart. What gets revealed? What gets overturned, capsized, overturned? It is not there to harm us. It is there for us, to help us release the old, shed, move beyond, so that when we do actually, I guess the word, arrive, achieve this level of divinity, excellence, we have a sense of purity that's been restored because we've let go of all of these illusions, these trappings that hold us back and down. Many of them come through fear. Oh, I'm something because I have this, that, or the other. I'm this label, this identity, this, material item. And at the end of the day, of course, we didn't come into life with those. We don't leave life with those. What we come in with and leave with is our soul source connection. Everything else is set dressing. It's a prop in our play that the soul created. This is where we are. And number 4 from the unseen is utter endings and beginnings. So this is utter endings and beginnings. Utter, complete, absolute. We've talked about it. It's a fait accompli. It's a done deal. It may look on the world stage like the worst of the worst of the worst of the patriarchal, Piscean, Capricorn capitalism, is roaring its head and like on some revival on steroids. Utter endings and beginnings, complete and absolute. It's like when the unseen said to us, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, watch when it collapses. Watch when the weight of its corruption is shadow. Pluto, the underworld, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius wants us to have the highest ideal of the Aquarian age, the matriarchal era, the purity of it. Oh, humanity. Oh, you need us to go back? Oh, you need us to go back and show you what you don't want? Oh, okay, no problem. Wham! And they give it to us in such a epic, grotesque manner, amount, quantity, that we cannot ignore it. We can't, it's coming at us full frontal, as they said, coming right at us. We can't bury our head in the sand. It is what it is. And the way to transmute it, transcend it, is to deal with it. Speaking, see me smiling? Speaking, welcome Colleen. Speaking of dealing with it, Well, let's just mosey on down to the shadow work that we are going to work with. I don't mean to laugh, but and before we do that, let's jump into our mantra. Our mantra: I am willing to move beyond the known. This beautiful path, the golden light, green, the verdant, the beautiful sky, the waters, and yet you can't see where the path leads because it's leading into the sun, into the light, the creative force. I am willing to move beyond the known. We have to be willing. We have to choose to move beyond our comfort zones, to move beyond what we know. When we do, miracles, magic, the unknown greets us. And it's incredible, but we have to be proactive about it, not cleaving and clinging to the past and not the masquerade, wearing the masquerade, perpetuating the masquerade. Lay them down. Who you are at your center, at your soul, is good enough. It's divine. There isn't another version of you that's better or higher. Be that. Take the masks off. Show up, let your light shine. Let that be enough. Now let's look. So we're going to work with, I'm sorry, before we do that, let's go to hexagram 14 very quickly. It's about great possessing. This is from Carrie Hone at cafeosoul.com. Hexagram 14 is great possessing. Its action is shine. Its hidden influence is determination, breakthrough. Its underlining cause, union, to discover what happens when we unify ourselves internally first, then with each other outwardly. Imagine what happens. That union and that discovery. So, great possessing is formed when fire moves over heaven. The idea of mental clarity or the sun in the sky shows its auspiciousness in describing your current condition. This is our mantra. I am willing to move beyond the known. The sun, the clarity of the sun in the sky. That's this image. The sun sustains life, and if and when we rise like the sun, we need only activate our hidden powers of expansion. Activate our soul source connection. Like the sun, by simply being, we set off a chain reaction of abundance, taking chances, a quantum leap forward. Obstacles disappear because of the hidden influence of breakthrough. We cultivate the seeds planted in the dark of winter that break through the soil of difficulty and emerge stronger and wiser. This is what astrologer Channing Nicholas was talking about. This is either about breakthrough, breakdown, breakaway, because here we are. Here's what's on offer. You can break through. You can break away. This is great possessing. Great possessing is a time when our star shines, our sun is rising as an individual. Life and as a world, collectively, life has offered you its greatest gift. The unseen, the moment, is offering us its greatest gift. What is that? Ascension, forward movement, release from stagnation. It's offering us the highest octave of ourselves, the matriarchal Aquarian era. Here it is. Here's your greatest gift. With that comes the power to shine with an inner certainty that need not be defended. Strength and clarity unite, and you can move forward in the knowledge that grace is your teacher. It's all about humility and grace, perseverance, this unifying attitude, mindset. I have everything I need. So strength and clarity unite, and you can move forward in the knowledge that grace is your teacher and power is merely aligning your will with the way. The message can be about wealth, success, or just a sense of knowing you have arrived. This is where our quote came in. The master said, do not play the host, but become the guest. If you, I would say, when you, trusting that something more profound might understand your needs. So here's the answer, be the guest. So trusting that something more profound might understand your needs in ways that you cannot. This is our second quote. All things in the universe have a purpose. Is it right that you should be different? And I loved this image of all of these bubbles with all of their iridescent, shimmer and rainbow shimmer. Again, rising up, all that verdant green. All things in the universe have a purpose. Is it right that you should be different? Of course not. We're purposeful. We're meant to rise like that. We're meant to shine, to have this kind of goodness and greatness and luminosity. The future must remain a mystery. The future is unknown. We haven't been there. The future must remain a mystery because life has a special predisposition for exploring possibilities. Through its dance of randomness, it generates innovation and novelty. When you are not busy organizing your life, it's like life happens while you're planning. When you are not busy organizing your life, you will discover that you are the guest of something that demonstrates a greater purpose in leading you. Your soul, your true north, and remember, it's always recalibrating. It's always guiding us to our highest, every choice, every decision. It's shuffling the deck. It's just like the car GPS. You take a wrong road or something, it recalculates. You miss a turn, it recalculates. What it's always doing, like in the car, it wants to get you there the quickest, the fastest, the safest. Avoid, obstructions, roadblocks, all that stuff. It's the same with your soul source connection. When you are not busy organizing your life, you will discover that you are the guest of something that demonstrates a greater purpose in leading you. It knows all. Your soul knows all. Soul source connection, source knows all. It knows how to get you where you are going in the most expeditious, purest, safest manner. All for you. So now let's jump in. So this is all of these culminate right now. You can see great possessing, hexagram 14, as above, so below, taking chances, a quantum leap forward. All of this is what's on offer for us. Matriarchal, Aquarian era. It's unknown, but it's not. It's known within us. Our soul knows. It knows where it's going. Well, let's jump into this Scorpio full moon, Astrology by Lauren. And we're going to also look at the Pluto retrograde, but the Pluto-Mars oppositions that occurred because they began last November, early November, right before the election in the United States. They had a second time, it was exact a second time, the 1st to the 3rd, which is number 5. We'll bring that up in a second from the unseen. That was its second time, and then it just had its third and final time on the 26th of April. So we're just beyond it, but it's playing out. It's important. So here's Astrology by Lauren. And this is a quote by Emile Zola. When you shut up the truth and bury it under the ground, it will but grow and gather to itself such explosive power that the day it bursts through, it will blow up everything in its way. When you try to bury and shut up the truth, it just gathers and grows to itself. It gains explosive power. And then watch it burst through and blow up everything in its way. The truth speaks for itself. The truth is pure, and it is explosive, impaled beyond recognition. It hits the bullseye. The new emerges. It is that upside down umbrella. Just going to bring up that chart again. It's that upside down umbrella. That's a dart, a dagger to the heart. What gets revealed? This is from last week. It's capsized. What does it overturn and bring out? Astrology by Lauren. The full moon at 22 degree and 22, the master number, the most powerful. So 22, master. This Scorpio full moon that occurred on Monday is at 22 degrees, the most powerful master number. Perhaps its most significant feature is that it is the last of a long series of full moons in aspect to unpredictable Uranus in the opposite sign of Taurus. Taurus is a sign that we usually associate with stability and security. Uranus is long, because Uranus right now is in Taurus, so Uranus's long sojourn in this sign for the past 7 years has upended many of the structures of our lives that we had taken for granted. Taurus is an earth sign, so it is that foundation and stability. And look at how everything is just getting upended. That can also happen in our personal lives. Everything we knew, people, places, things, jobs, labels, identities, masks, masquerade, all these things are getting upended. So we've taken these things for granted and perhaps thought indestructible, like, oh, this can never change. I can count on this. It's solid. It's foundational. Taurus has domain over the sorts of things that provide comfort and sustenance, which includes things like the economy, as well as durable and sustainable goods. It is also the sign associated with the environment and the earth, our mother. The full moon in Scorpio is the culminating moon during Taurus season. In the northern hemisphere during Taurus season, the land is fertile, the trees and flowers are blossoming with new life. Flora, the goddess of flowers, is bringing all to verdant splendor, and so are our fates blossoming as well as the full moon in Scorpio. This too is part of the plan, giving humanity as a collective whole the capacity to evolve and grow by showing us the results of our choices in this regard. So we are dealing with this juxtaposition of the choices. Here's moving forward, ascending, taking chances, a quantum leap forward. We have that opportunity. It is this Flora, the goddess of spring and flowers and so forth. It's also the underbelly, Pluto, the bringing things to light. So Astrology by Lauren, she continues. However, as has been seen with the previous full moons tied in with Uranus, that means they're in astrology, they're either conjunct or they're aspecting. These full moons have been aspecting Uranus. There is no telling what can and will be brought to fruition in the light of the full moon. Pluto, the modern ruling planet of Scorpio, has been roiling and toiling about in his lair since his retrograde station on May 4th. Planets are stronger when they station. And when Pluto stations, the profound transformative quality of Pluto is internalized. Those things that we have been suppressing or avoiding will no longer be ignored. The masquerade ends now. And all the more so with the full moon bringing all sorts of things to the surface. Like a dagger to the heart, what gets revealed. It is also within this period that the conclave came together to elect the next pope of the Catholic Church. In our own lives, it is time to address all those things that make us less effective in the world. That can include any habits, fears, and tendencies that are holding us back. Scorpio is a sign of purification and renewal. I'm reminded of that fable about the Scorpio asks the frog to, transport it across the pond. And at first the frog says no. Finally, it relents and it gives in. And then halfway across, the Scorpio stings the frog. The frog says, "Why did you do that?" And the Scorpio says, "It's my nature." So it's about listening to our original intelligence, our soul. It knows best. When we encounter people, places, things, events, boom, 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 the alarm's going off, the internal GPS system is firing and telling you what to do or not to do. Listen. Because like Scorpio, it can be this, it's about purification and renewal, but it's about listening to your internal GPS system to safely navigate. An opportunity to clear the slate and begin anew. So this This moment with this Scorpio full moon is an opportunity to clear the slate and begin anew. It can also be that what has been lost can be found in the light of the full moon. Where has your identity? Who are you? The world at large, a country, a company, a person, a relationship. It's an opportunity to clear the slate, begin anew, and it can also be that what was lost can be found, but in the full light of the moon. What has ended can once again be reborn. At the full moon this Monday, it was the 12th of May, we might ask ourselves, what do I need to let go of to be able to grow and evolve? What shadow aspect am I? Anxiety, resentment, anger, fear. What do I need to let go of to be able to grow and evolve? What do I need to release to be free, to be a freer, more authentic version of myself? Who you are at your center is enough, is everything, is more than enough. Harness that. Love that. Reconnect with that. And to others, be damned. Their opinion of something, of what you're doing, or who you love, or who you are, whatever it may be, that's them. Shine your light. Connect with that. Lauren goes on to say, why am I so desperately clinging to that? What am I so desperately clinging to that is only undermining what I am trying to achieve? What needs further purifying for me to grow and thrive? This can be a habit, an idea, some attachment, or even our own expectations. Again, the masks, the identities, the labels, the scripts, the masquerade. Pay attention to what is being revealed in the light of the Scorpio moon. Old secrets can be scandalously disclosed with the full moon opposing Uranus. But so can rare and even priceless gifts and gems come to light. See, it can be the shadow stuff, but it can also be these priceless, rare gifts and gems that come to light. For what also lurks beneath the shadows are not only those things that undermine and weaken us, but also those things of great beauty and potential. Who you are at your center may be the greatest octave, the greatest aspect of yourself. And if you never allow it to shine, you not only rob yourself, but you rob the world of your brilliance. By confronting what comes to light, even the ugly, the things we prefer not to admit, the things that may even be scandalous and shameful, it can prove to be both affirming and therapeutic. To reap the benefits, the potential, the gifts, the powerful trust that can come with the full moon in Scorpio, we need to go through the purification process of confronting ourselves. See, we're confronting ourselves, not others. It's about confronting ourselves. Unlayering, emptying the vessel, purifying, renewing. Even our own darkness. And then take a vow to renew and rebuild and create more sustainable edifices in our lives. Make discoveries and revelations. This is a time for insight and understanding. Use it and use it well. And I love this aspect of make discoveries and revelations because it's number 5. Number 5 from the unseen. 5 denotes change. Revelations and reverberations. Oh my, with an exclamation point. So again, as above, so below, impaled, these energies, these astrological energies, Pluto retrograde, the Scorpio full moon, Venus, 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 the Mercury, Chiron, Eris conjunction, all of this is culminating in revelations and reverberations. Well, revelations, a surprising and previously unknown fact, especially one that is made known in a dramatic way. The divine or supernatural disclosure to humans of something relating to human existence or the world. So we got revelations and reverberations, a continuing effect, a repercussion. So again, what's the repercussion for these choices for these old behaviors, these old thoughts, labels, stories, scripts, identities, actions. When we perpetuate them, when we quadruple down on them, when we try to stop time, okay. But it is like that beautiful quote at the very beginning of Astrology by Lauren from Emile Zola. When you shut up the truth and bury it under the ground, it will but grow and gather to itself such explosive power that the day it bursts through, it will blow up everything in its way. It's going to blow that up because it's the old, it's the shadow, it's the worst of the worst, it's the goo of the Piscean patriarchal era. It represents greed and oppression and suppression and control and domination and all of this stuff, all shadow aspects of the purity of the Piscean patriarchal era, the divine masculine. The purity of the divine masculine is chivalry, honor, this reverence, it's that is the highest, and we want that. We don't want to lose that. We absolutely need it, want it, desire it. The shadow aspects, no merci. It's done. Dans le poubelle, as they say in French. In the trash it goes. This is now from astrobutterfly.com, and it has to do with Pluto, the opposition, this Mars-Pluto opposition. I'm going to post the entire page. It is incredibly well written. So this is from astrobutterfly.com. Oppositions are perhaps the most challenging aspects, even more so than squares. Squares are confrontational, conflict in astrology. Squares give us options. Think of a square as a crossroad, when you have the choice to go in one direction or another. With an opposition, however, and remember, Pluto and Mars have been in opposition 3 times. It was exact 3 times. Started in October, but the first one was early November, early January, end of April. So with an opposition, however, there is no choice. There is one linear path, and whether you go north or south, you are confined by the rules of that path. North, the path north, north node, where humanity's going. Highest ideals, where we're going. Or the south node, where we've been, releasing where we've been. So whether you go north or south, you're confined by the rules of that path. You cannot go off course. You must stay there, moving back and forth, exploring the tension of the opposites for as long as needed, for as long as it takes to have a breakthrough. See, there's a theme here. Breakdowns, breakthroughs, that was one of the shows. This breakaways, but until you decide where you are, you got to stay there for as long as it takes to have a breakthrough, because that's what's intended, is to break through, break away, break through. Pluto transits, especially oppositions, often strip away our innocence. We can't bury our head in the sand. It's coming at us full force. The harder we try to escape, chase the light, or cling to a single answer, the stronger the underworld's pull becomes, revealing secrets, shadows, and truths that challenge our sense of identity and disrupt our lives. It's doing it on purpose. It's doing it for us so that we'll see the light of day. We'll see the light, the creative force. We'll see the opportunity, the breakthrough to move forward, to advance, not as the old us, as the soul-centered, soul source connected us, that pure us. So the more we try to move north, the more we try to move north, the stronger the gravitational force pulling us south. The higher we aim, the deeper we fall. This is about that sense of it requires fortitude, perseverance. Because when we're reaching higher, when we're moving beyond It's that beautiful theme. I am willing, or mantra, pardon me, oops, wrong one. I am willing to move beyond the known. So when we move north, when we reach higher, yes, the gravitational pull to pull us backwards is strong, but that doesn't mean we can't triumph and overcome. So Pluto wants us to own our shadow rather than projecting it onto others, life circumstances, or external events. Our unowned Pluto may manifest as a fear of being weak, disguised by a defensive attitude. Or it could be a fear of our own power, causing us to overcompensate by shrinking back or playing small. Mars opposite Pluto is about inner strength and outer alignment. Mars opposite Pluto wants us to own our power and at the same time be aware of the limits of our personal power. The age of Aquarius's long-awaited promise of freedom is not a given. It must be earned. It must be chosen. We want the higher octave of humanity, of a better world, peace on earth and everything. We have to choose it. It's not a given. It won't happen automatically. It's something that Pluto will help us create. It's not an action item on the world leader's agenda. Rather, it's the result of cultivating self-awareness and autonomy within each and every one of us. Matriarchal Aquarian area is about we the people. When we the people rise up and speak truth to power, it's explosive. It's revelatory. Do they want it? No, because they're in power. They have control. It's the hamster wheel. However, when you blow it up and peacefully but affirmatively, you stand in your light, your creative force, you let it shine, it's paradigm shifting. There is a reason why Aquarius follows Capricorn. There was a reason why Leo follows Cancer. It's only by putting in the work and learning the rules of the system, Capricorn, that we earn freedom, and Pluto was in Capricorn. It's just moved into Aquarius. So when we learn the rules of the system, that's when we earn freedom, Aquarius. It's only by coming to terms with our vulnerability, Cancer, that we find the courage to reveal our true selves to the world, Leo. Mars was in Cancer, it's now in Leo. This metaphorical birthing process will feel challenging at an individual level, Mars opposite Pluto. However, at a meta level, so we get this as above, so below, there is divine harmony. Pluto is sextile, so that's a harmonious aspect in astrology. Pluto is sextile Neptune and trine, another harmonious aspect in astrology, and trine Uranus. There is perfect alignment in the cosmos. No matter how intense this Mars opposite Pluto transit becomes, remember that everything is exactly as it should be. Everything makes perfect sense in the bigger picture. Trust the process and remember that the only way out is through. And this is, again, that was all from astrobutterfly.com. So you see that, and while we've moved beyond, if you will, just barely the Pluto-Mars opposition, these energies are still playing out. Pluto is now retrograde in Aquarius, May to October. It's going to go back to say, hey, hi, let's see what's going on here. And we conclude with this. It's a quote from Mike Dooley from The Universe Talks and Thoughts Become Things. When you hide your power, feign your innocence, and generally fret that your confidence will rub some folks the wrong way, it's no wonder misguided souls will try to walk all over you. Be proud of your magnificence. See, at your center, at our center, we're magnificent beings. We are divine beings. We have the ability to soar, to take flight, to take chances, to experience quantum leaps forward. However, we must believe it at our center. We must be willing to face the shadow, the goo, our own shadow, Pluto, our own Pluto, to release any limiting beliefs, anything that's holding us back. Because anything less than that is a masquerade, an illusion. It's a mask. And we're at this place of utter endings and beginnings. At the end of May, Saturn moves into Aries. So these major shifting, we're ending from Pisces to Aries. We're ending. Later on in the year, Jupiter moves and Uranus moves. So all 5 of the outer planets, the mega planets that take years, their orbit is years. They're all moving. There's no accident. There's no mistake that they're all moving from the end of last year, 2024, and officially staying in these new signs in the beginning of 2026, within this 18-month window. It's been eons since that happened. One could say 2,000-ish plus years, the time when we moved into Pisces, from Taurus to Pisces. I have to look at that. But we moved into Pisces. Now we're moving into Aquarius, sorry. So Aries, but Aquarius. This Piscean to Aquarian is what I'm trying to get to. Bear with me. Number 6 from the unseen is worlds collide. So this is a moment where worlds collide. Worlds collide means 2 distinct and separate entities, Piscean, patriarchal, Aquarian, matriarchal. So 2 distinct and separate entities, ideas, or groups come into contact, often with unexpected, Uranus, or disruptive consequences. Mars-Pluto opposition, Pluto. This can be metaphorical, suggesting a clash of cultures, philosophies, or personal lives. The outcomes of this worlds collide: conflict, change, new realities. I mean, this is pin the tail on the donkey for where we are. These worlds collide, the old against the new. They're colliding. What's the outcome when this occurs? Conflict. We can certainly see that in the world. Different viewpoints or values may clash. Change. New perspectives or understanding can, in this instance, will emerge. New realities. The interaction of distinct worlds can create a new situation or relationship. This isn't just our external world. This can be, again, when worlds collide internally within ourselves. There can be conflict, change, and new realities. Because all of it is moving us forward. Nothing here is desirous of you regressing. The soul, true north, soul source connection, it all wants the best for us. Now, something with number 5, with this revelations and reverberations, oh my, was also, I heard, and this was from, it took me back to January, the first show in January of 2025, because I heard bang, bang, he shot me down. It's the song by Cher. Well, that was the 2025, on January 8th, we had the 2025 The Wind Beneath My Wings Elephant Medicine show. So these current moment of all those astrological energies going on, everything took me back to that. The unseen did. And they were talking, and then it was the second Pluto-Mars opposition, which occurred on January. So at the time of this show, the second Mars-Pluto opposition was exact on the 1st to the 3rd of January, right when this show was happening. What was number 1? Blinded by the light. Flashbang. Bang, bang, he shot me down. This blinded by the light. We're talking about all this light, this quantum leaps forward and taking chances. It's our main theme. And here's all this beautiful light streaming through. When we're the guest and not the host, here's the butterfly, this renewal, reincarnation, going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Again, the illumination of the light, of source. Our mantra, there's the light. I am willing to move beyond the known, into the unknown. But look at the light guiding us, showing us the way, and all the beautiful sky, the verdant green, the golden path, the waters, the living waters. It's all present. It's all there for us. So all of this is culminating. And then the second thing was, they said at this time, a turbulent reprise, or so they say, and a reprise is to repeat. So we were, in air quotes, a turbulent reprise. Well, one could say that since early January, these last few months, they have certainly been a turbulent reprise. To repeat, but the unseen said, so they say. So a turbulent reprise, quote, for a brief moment. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles represents earth. The Ace of Wands represents fire. So how we move forward, creative force. And then the song by Shania Twain, From This Moment On. It's from her album, Come On Over. Yeah, see, it's like, come on over to the new. Come on over this way. Come this way. Because, so there's a fascinating tie-in here. Worlds collide, this reprise for a moment, utter endings and beginnings. They're complete and absolute. It's number 4. They're foundational. And all of these energies culminating for us, so that as we move forward, and I know I'm hearing this, I'm hearing y'all loud and clear. It's like, but Dearjames, look at the world stage. Yes, look at the world stage. Look at it closely. See it for the illusion that it is. See it for the goo that it is. See all of these powerful men, for the most part. It's not all men, but men. Cleaving, clinging, being outrageous in trying to hold on to power, to stop time. And yet, the message from the unseen is clear. As above, so below. Where we were, where the planets, the heavy hitter planets were, they are no longer. 3 of the 5 have moved on, or will have moved on by the end of this month. The last 2 are approaching the final degrees of the signs they're in. The message is clear. We're moving beyond what we've known, where we've been. Impaled beyond recognition. Bullseye. The new emerges. There's an upside down, the umbrella, and has anybody, you're in a rainstorm or something, the umbrella is beneficial when it's upright over your head, you're holding on to it, canopy's full and extended. When it flips upside down and it's laying, visually imagine that. The tip of the umbrella is a dart. It is, it's a dagger to the heart. What gets revealed? It's capsized. It's upside down. It takes on water. It doesn't prevent it, repel it. It can impale something, someone. It becomes the opposite of what it was intended. There's a very loud message here. And this, wait for it, watch it. Because the truth doesn't become weak when you try to hide it. It gathers to itself and it strengthens. And then it explodes. It blows everything out of its way. I just want to conclude with the Sabian symbols. There's a few of them. And this is on point. Here's the North Node, where humanity's going for this Scorpio full moon. A religious organization succeeds in overcoming the corrupting influence of perverted practices and materialized ideals. We can't get any more on point, in unity with the messages from the unseen, and the astrological events occurring. The power of the soul to intervene in the personal life and to induce necessary catharsis, necessary change. And these are Dane Rudyard and astrological mandala, the Sabian symbols. This stage leads significantly to the series of 5 symbols, which concludes the vast cycle, because the final consummation of the process is the potency inherent in the original creative act. It's the life force, which requires moments of crisis and purification. The Scorpio full moon, Scorpio, Pluto, is about purification, renewal. This Sabian symbol for the North Node speaks to the overcoming of corrupting influence and perverted practices and materialized ideals. They represent the past, Piscean, patriarchal, Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn. That's what they represent. Next, Mercury, how we think, speak, communicate, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, riches that come from linking the celestial and the earthly nature, as above, so below, and vice versa. At this stage, we are given a mode of operation which reminds us of the symbol for the second stage, an electrical storm. Man need not be overawed by the celestial display of power, for it leads to a fruitful contact with beings of light. This is a natural kind of communion involving a transubstantiation of matter. We're going to elevate. It's Aquarius. We're going from Pluto in Capricorn, Earth, dense, Pluto in Aquarius, air, higher octave. So it's this natural communion and a transubstantiation of matter. The descendant and the lot of fortune. The Sabian symbol is the woman of Samaria at the ancestral well, the meeting of the traditional past and of the creative spirit pointing to the future. This is a very powerful, powerful symbol. Lot of fortune. It's what's on offer. The symbol refers to a most important but usually narrowly interpreted or interpreted away episode of the Christ mythos. Early in his ministry, Master Jesus meets a Samaritan woman at an ancestral well. This woman belongs to a tribe despised by the Jews. Moreover, she is unmarried and therefore on the fringe of even her own society. It is to just that kind of woman that Jesus reveals that he is the Messiah. I am he. A revelation, revelations and reverberations, oh my, a revelation that he apparently will not bestow even upon his disciples, at least not in words. Words in occultism, wisdom, are the creative factor. Choose our words, choose your words carefully and wisely. What does this mean? Master Jesus as the avatar incorporating the Christ impulse, and Christ is the light, came to replace the old tribal order with a new order based on universal love. It is not to representatives of, or even to men still attached to, the old order that Master Jesus could reveal his spiritual, evolutionary, and society-transforming status. They had instead to reach a point where they could discover his avatarship, as did Peter just before the transfiguration scene. But to the woman of Samaria, who, in her openness to love's urgings, had already repudiated any narrow subservience to the old order, Jesus could reveal his function. The highest meets the lowest, when the lowest is free from traditional bonds and open to love. It's when we are open to receive the new that we can receive it. The creative future descends first to that which has become chaos. An old order is never open to a new revelation until it has accepted disorder in the name of that power which subsumes all other forms of order, meaning love. We're in this moment of chaos, of disorder. In this second stage of the fivefold sequence, a contrasting element enters upon the scene. It is no longer a collective cultural effort based on past knowledge, but a meeting that introduces into the collective situation a totally new factor which transcends it. A new quality of being is revealed, which renders the old patterns obsolete. That is where we are. That in a nutshell. I will post all of these on the Dearjames Facebook thread for the episode for the show. This is where we are. Our worlds collide. There's revelations and reverberations, oh my, utter endings and beginnings. The masquerade ends now. Impaled beyond recognition. There are things that are capsized that are just turned upside down. And it's because it's about taking chances to experience quantum leaps forward from where we've been. Why? How? As above, so below. And it's Pluto in Aquarius. It's Pluto retrograde. It is Scorpio full moon. It is Venus, 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 and more Venus. It is Mercury, Chiron, Eris, conjunct. It is all of these things culminating, conspiring on our behalf. May we all rise to meet and greet the occasion, the time, and our future selves. Until next week, be well, be kind, and be conscientious, be loving. A new quality of being is revealed, which renders the old patterns obsolete. We'll see you next week.